Hello everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic day and happy Friday. Here is some news about Siege that's happened this week and also for year 10. You have just over 1 month to get your reputation in respectable or higher, or you will likely not receive your ranked rewards next season, and you also will not be able to play ranked or standard when year 10 launches. Since the reputation system launched in Year 8 Season 4, we've always been able to see in-game that if you are dishonorable or disruptive, that you would not be able to play any playlist other than Quick Match, you would not get your ranked rewards, and you would get a significant decrease in renown. And at the other end of the scale, if you are exemplary or esteemed, you would get increased renown. I believe it's 5% for esteemed and 15% for exemplary, and you'd also get a background card if you are one or the other. Each one has a different card. However, when the reputation system launched, it had a lot of problems, as players could simply mass report a player or falsely report a player and it would drop their reputation, especially if it happened by multiple people on the enemy team and the same team. Before this season, Year 9 Season 4, I would struggle to get out of respectable, but I'd never TK, I'd never grieve. People would just report me for no reason and my reputation would significantly drop. So for that reason, the devs had to fix the reputation system, and they have successfully done this in Year 9 Season 4. As it stands right now, I have been exemplary for the whole season. I have not dropped. I've accidentally TK'd once, and I purposely TK'd my friend when we were messing around with each other once. My reputation didn't drop because my positive points are so much higher, which means the only people who will not receive the ranked rewards are those who genuinely grieve, who genuinely TK, or who are genuinely toxic. Although we don't know with 100% certainty that this will now be implemented in Year 10 Season 1, I can confirm that devs did confirm that the reputation sanctions will come in Year 10 100%. Now, with the beta of what they've done this season being so successful, I think that they could release it in Year 10 Season 1 with confidence that it works fine. So I have an assumption that it will be released in Year 10 Season 1. What this will mean for players is that although, yes, your ranked season right now is Year 9 Season 4, you would technically get your ranked rewards in Year 10 Season 1. So if you end this ranked season dishonorable or disruptive, you will not receive your ranked rewards. So I really recommend people to get their reputation up over the next 6 weeks or so. If not, they will not be receiving their rewards. They will not be able to play ranked on day one, and they'll be stuck in a toxic Quick Match pool for everybody else in the same boat as them. Of course, again, with complete transparency, this isn't confirmed anywhere yet that it is coming in Year 10 Season 1, but I would rather be safe than sorry. In other R6 news this week, it is possible that Rainbow Six Siege might come to the Switch too. I have been saying since we have known about the Switch 2 that Rainbow Six Siege might make it to the Switch 2. As it stands right now, it would never ever come to the current Switch console, as it does not render even games like Fortnite. It is not a powerful console. But if they're making a Switch 2, I've always said that it's going to have to be a lot more powerful than the current console, because if not, what's the point in making it? So my assumption has always been that the Switch 2 will be way more powerful than the current Switch. It somewhat reminds me of the Wii, and then when the Wii U released. The Wii had very basic games when it came to graphic and the demand on the actual software of the Wii, whereas the Wii U actually offered some pretty good games, both visually and the mechanics you could do with it. Unfortunately, the Wii U did flop though, and I'm not surprised because it was extortionate for what it was. And it was too different to the console of the Wii that people grew to love so much. Whereas the Switch 2 has just been revealed, very briefly teased, and I believe that it has nailed the look, and I don't think it's going to flop. However, it does look bigger than the current Switch, which means that if it is bigger, it will be more powerful. Now, I know from a couple of interviews that although the Switch and Nintendo obviously has their incredible niche of Pokemon, Mario, all of those games which are super successful, I know that they also wanted to feature more mainstream games too. So I've always said since the talk of the Switch 2 that we might actually get a version of Rainbow Six Siege in the future. Now, don't get me wrong, I do not think it's going to be Rainbow Six Siege like the Rainbow Six Siege we currently play on Xbox and PlayStation and PC. I think maybe if it did come, it would be more of Rainbow Six Mobile. And this isn't an outrageous assumption either. To give context, Fortnite Mobile came out and it was put into Nintendo Switch lobbies. So when you play on Nintendo Switch, you play in the lobbies with mobile players and Nintendo Switch players if you are not playing cross-platform. I think Siege would come to the Switch too and be something similar. I think it would be a port of Rainbow Six Mobile and not necessarily the Rainbow Six Siege we know. Again, none of this is confirmed anywhere. This is just thoughts from myself and being excited at the reveal of the Switch 2. But it's thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys in the Siege community, as it's something that I genuinely believe could happen in the future. We have not received any information about the next Siege Cup, and I am actually flabbergasted by this. Siege Cup is meant to be hosted every 2 weeks, and obviously when it came out in beta, nobody expected it to be every 2 weeks because it's a beta for a reason. However, it came out of beta this season. This season is now 6 or 7 weeks old, and we've only had one Siege Cup. And as it stands, we have no idea when the next one's going to be. All we know is it's quote-unquote coming soon. 2 weeks after the first Siege Cup out of beta this season would have been over the festive period, and anybody who is reasonable wouldn't have expected it to happen this season during the festive period. I appreciate that. I never expected it to happen over the festive period. I did, however, assume that it would be a couple of weeks after the festive period, so either last Friday or without fail this Friday. However, it did not happen this Friday, and they still haven't communicated with us of when it's going ahead. And this is pretty frustrating because I think the community's biggest gripe when it comes to Ubi often is that they do not communicate with us enough. I think people would be less frustrated and less annoyed if they were like, hey, Siege Cup is happening, but it's not happening until this day, just to let you know, sorry, but we can't do it any sooner. But just leaving it at coming soon after promising it every 2 weeks and saying, yeah, it's out of beta, you can't say it's out of beta if it's only happened once. That's my take, but I do think that it is a letdown, unless there's like something that's preventing it and they need to fix it. But again, communicate that. It's the lack of communication, which I think is annoying for most people. There is a small possibility as I make this video, they'll announce that it's going to be tomorrow, for example, because originally it was meant to be every weekend, and then out of beta, they put it on a Friday. Friday, some people class that as a weekend, some people do not. I think Go4s used to maybe be on a Saturday. So, you know, it's possible that they might say today that, hey, Siege Cup is coming tomorrow, register now. But I highly doubt they'd only give people less than 24 hours to register, but you never know. We also currently do not have any information surrounding the mid-season patch, but I can say with confidence now that if we are getting a mid-season patch, we will for sure receive it next week. This season, I worked it out, I think, to be 15 weeks. Or is my maths wrong there? I think my maths is wrong. 13 weeks. I worked out this season to be 13 weeks. Next week is week 7. This week was week 6. So it's always, it could be week 6, it could be week 7 to make it the mid-season patch, as they don't do updates on the weekend, so it can't be mid-season directly in the middle, if that makes sense. So it's either going to come out week 6 or week 7. This week is week 6. It didn't come out, so I assume it'll come out on Tuesday. As soon as we know anything about the mid-season patch, I will make a video about it. And I'm only saying that it will come out next week if we are getting one. It is always possible that we won't actually get one. Things I would like to see in the mid-season patch is mainly, to be honest, some buffs for operators. I'd like to see Ayana get another buff. I still don't think she's very good, in a very good state. I'd like to see Dokkaebi get a nerf, but I feel like Dokkaebi nerf will be quite significant and will likely come probably in an actual new season, not just a mid-season patch. I'd also love for Oryx to get a buff, but I feel like he might end up getting reworked, to be honest. But let me know in the comments below what you think of this news, what you're hoping to see. I hope you have a great weekend.